What is going on, Schmoedown universe? Welcome back to A Certain Point of View. Jill's board has gotten one hashtag larger this week. We'll definitely be getting into that. Welcome back. It is Sunday evening in here on POV. As you can see, we are one short today, and that is because it is Molly Damon's birthday. So,
birthday girl.
If you have not already, or just go do it again, please go blow up her Twitter, maybe in our Discord, whatever you got to go do to wish her a happy birthday. She'll be back this week, but they're obviously out celebrating. So, of course, she's not going to be here, like, duh.
It's her birthday.
Yeah, like, duh. So, yes, go and wish her a happy birthday. But yeah, look, we have so much to talk about tonight. This might have been the biggest Schmoedown weekend ever. Like, I know Spectacular is big, but it's all one big event. We had free-for-all and 2 title matches and like scenes and swaps and like all this stuff to get to. We're going to be getting into it all. But before we do, let's go and check in on Jill, Brian, see how they're doing. Brian, how you doing, man? Hanging in there?
Good. Busy week. Lots of stuff to do and going on. And I am thoroughly prepared for today's episode.
Jesus.
Oh, good Lord.
There was a lot going on this weekend, if you didn't know, from Saturday and Friday. So
yeah.
I went full Mr. Numbers and got all the stats. But yeah, I like to keep track during free-for-all.
You've always done notes on everything for us. Yeah.
Well, free-for-all especially. I like to count rounds. And so I did that. So I got everyone's rounds. And I mean, Friday was just as nuts, it felt like. So yeah, full Frankie Numbers this weekend. I'm sure he'll find a mistake somewhere in it. So he's gonna be like, "Oh, you're using my name, blasphemous." Whatever.
Okay, well, outside of Schmoedown, Brian, how are you? Like, hanging in there?
Yeah, great week. I'm getting ready. My sister and my mom are coming up next weekend, so getting ready for that. Excited. Well, it's Mother's Day.
Has your sister ever been to Sacramento?
Not since you and I lived together.
She came. She did come one of those times.
So like 2017, 18.
Okay, cool.
So it's been not enough to where she like remembers or anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
So oh yeah, Christina, you could have checked my math teacher. Teachers, I see you. Yeah.
Well, Christina, if you stay long enough, you can definitely check, because I'm sure we'll be asking a lot of questions for Brian now that we know he has notes. Jill, how about you? You had a little staycation?
I did. I had a staycation.
Dude, that place looked awesome.
Dude,
yeah.
That backyard is like the legit coolest. Sean's
a bocce ball in a backyard.
Yeah, bocce ball, and they have one of the guest houses is literally just a pool hall. So like it's just like pool tables. Big huge pool, awesome jacuzzi. Like it's over in Fallbrook down near San Diego. Sean's uncle, it's like basically his vacation home that he rents out. So we stayed there for the weekend. It was a lot of fun. It was definitely nice to kind of, get away and distract myself from the heartbreak that was I had Friday Night Titans.
I had a couple people, so they were obviously our Discord, but then I also had one specific person. I'm not going to put anybody out there, but someone messaged me and said, I hope Jill is okay. Like, they literally said that.
Put them out there. They know.
Tim Sim messaged me and goes, I hope Jill's okay. I hope Jill is okay.
Well, Tim Sim, I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
I have some thoughts on that match.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I feel personally attacked by me losing my 2 favorite teams, like within the span of like a couple months. So no, I'm not okay.
Actually, I think it's a month, Jill. I don't think it was that long ago that Deception like officially like ended.
Yeah, I think it's only been like a month.
Because
you haven't been saying the hashtag for that.
Yeah, I feel like it's only been at least, so you lost 2 teams in a month. Yeah.
Christian is literally coming for you. Not
even
like Korruption.
Christian was like, how can I make Jill's Friday just the absolute worst?
Yeah.
I know.
At least he didn't make you interview them. That would have been cruel.
I was like, when Frankie said, I have the honor of interviewing for the last time, I'm like, there's no way I could have done it. I would have just like laid on the floor and just cried.
You would have had a horrible Friday.
Because then I would have had to interview Paul afterwards.
would not have been a good day for you.
It wasn't a good day for me. Regardless, it was not a good day.
At least you're like on vacation watching it, so it's like, oh, I'm so upset. Now I'm going to go in my backyard, go to the hot tub.
Now I'm going to go have about 19 rum and cokes. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you said in the Discord, you go rum and coke, extra rum.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
I do have a question though, Jill. So just BTS, were you not there for that match?
I was not there for that match.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Okay.
I was not there for that match. And I was there for the after party. The after party hangout of the match. I was there.
So you obviously knew, I imagine.
I knew. I found out that night because like I walked in and I see Chance and Mike like at the end of the table and I went, "What happened?" And Mike just looks at him. He goes,
"Oh no!
No!
Oh no!
Heartbreak. My heart just shattered on the floor. And then of course, I went up to Brendan. I was like, "You did
Yeah."
And he probably apologized.
He did. He was like, "I'm so sorry. It was a really good match, though, but I'm really sorry." And I'm like, "Dude,
it was a really good match, and we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it very quickly. We have 2 title matches to talk about, plus the enormity that is free for all. So just hang with us. We're gonna get to it all. But what we're gonna do to actually start the show off is react to Friday Night Titans' final scene from Friday. We have not seen it. We've been told who is featured in it, but we have actually not seen it. So we're gonna watch it and then talk about everything that is happening with the Den specifically, because they were the hot topic after Friday Night Titans. So here we go. I'll press play in 3, 2, and 1.
Mulligan, Bateman.
Mulligan. Yeah.
Thanks for calling me earlier.
I lost my mind.
Yeah, I appreciate you telling me what went down with the Saul stuff. I mean,
that background's amazing.
I guess it just happens.
It felt weird.
Yeah.
At least they have a table in front of it.
I was talking to Drew. We had a conversation.
Yeah.
And he kind of got me thinking about some stuff. Okay. Honestly, it reminds me a little bit of this stuff that went down. I mean, I feel like there's a way that we're doing things. And I know I came to you in the off season. I don't know if it's totally what I want to be doing. I think the Den maybe wants to look a little different than that, you know?
Okay. I mean, listen, I will say, like, part of what was good about bringing you on is I felt like we had a very clear direction, but like, yeah, listen, if you think this should go a different direction, you're the compass.
I mean, I feel like it was a good time, like talking smack and having a good time with those guys, Lomas and Radis, but like, that's new talent. You want to bring people up. You don't want to push people down. You know, it's like, come on. I feel like I'm an elder statesman. I've been at this a long time. You know, I got a lot of experience. So anyway, I'm glad you're receptive to it.
Yeah, totally.
But she went all in on like, Saul.
You're my golden boy. Like I will follow. So yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. Totally.
Justice for Saul.
Sure.
I want a burrito.
I mean, I have gas.
Can I come?
That's fine.
What she said at the end.
There we go.
Did you hear what she said at the end?
I have gas.
Yeah, she's like, I've got gas, but that's okay.
I'm a little. That's a little, as Christina says, that seems sus.
Never trust the pretty ones. That's all I'm saying.
I don't like. She went all in on Saul and dumped Saul, which was incredibly shocking.
Just because Saul was like, "Hey, listen, Bateman has, a track record."
Like she went, like he said one thing and just like, "Yeah, I don't really trust him," and she was like, "You know what? F you," essentially. Like, and then now this,
well,
little weird.
I forgot I poured myself a hefty glass of wine.
Are we getting Kate pushed out of the Den?
So we talked about this because that whole Andrew guy managing Ben Bateman thing. If Bateman isn't down with what Kate is doing, maybe. I mean, who honestly has more power, Ben Bateman or Kate Mulligan?
Ben Bateman.
I think he's going to try to push her out. That's the vibe I got.
I mean,
it seems like he wants to go face, right? That's kind of the vibe.
Seemed like a face to me.
Maybe not.
It's like, you know what? I'm gonna do good, but I might cut throats along the way. That's like the vibe I get. Like, I'm gonna be the best I could be, but like, U.S. agent from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where it's like, I'm going to be the greatest symbol, and then he's in the background, like, killing people. Like, that's the vibe I get.
I mean, yeah, I'm just getting face turn, which in my mind, I'm feeling very Brandon Hanna about this, where I go,
buzz.
Are you really though?
I saw him wish Molly happy birthday, and I was waiting for you to be like, I don't buy this.
No, you don't wish for an actual happy birthday.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very intrigued. Justice for Saul, though. The heck,
100%.
Like,
and the poor
Justice
guy's
for
got to
Saul.
go into a number 1 contenders match next week,
right?
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Golly, kicked to the curb, and now he's got to do work.
Yeah.
God.
Look, a lot is happening at the moment. A lot is happening at the moment. The Den is still very much a question mark with what is their plan, if you will. They are now one less IG player because Saul is no longer part of the faction, from what the cutscene implied, anyway.
We are really just chopping heads in the IG division.
It's ridiculous. Now I'm very curious on where he goes. Like, what happens with his, like, what faction? Look, and I'm not saying he fits in, but Gucci is looking for an IG player, right?
Do you realize that?
And Adam Witt is looking for one.
Yeah.
Do you realize that Swag and Dungeon are the only people with IG players?
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Swag has Rue and Dungeon has Smets.
No, well, Rock's
Yep.
the Stars.
Oh, the Stars have Chandru.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
and Corruption.
And Corruption have Chance.
Okay, never mind. I was way off.
Wow, Brian.
Math.
You got distracted by all your notes. You forgot, like.
No, I was just trying. I was trying to think of something without writing it down. So clearly, it didn't work.
I mean, let's look. There's a couple options Saul can end up on. That's fan favorites, and we've seen Adam Witt pick up some strays, right? So, some strays that have kind of been pushed aside by the other managers.
Oh dear
Gucci.
God, Kyle, that would never in a million years work.
Oh my God,
Saul
no,
to
that
the
would not work.
flouse.
Kyle,
That would be
Saul to the flouse. No.
That would be
no.
what is it? Oil and vinegar or whatever that just
Oh,
don't
yeah, no,
mix.
no.
Like that's
Yeah,
not
No.
not happening.
No.
100%. So yeah, I guess this week will reveal a lot. Hopefully, we'll have a kind of more clear path on what's happening with Saul going forward. But until then, shame on you, Kate Mulligan. Shame on you, Kate Mulligan.
I don't trust him. That's all I gotta say.
No, it's hard
Never
to trust
trust a
Bateman
pretty
with his track
face.
record. It's very hard to trust Bateman with his track record.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bring up a couple comments real quick before we move on. We're gonna get to Shazam versus Corruption here in just a second, but I want to bring up a couple comments here.
Yes.
Super chats that have come through. Kyle Beckworth coming in. Jill, I was depressed Friday too. Then finally positive Corruption news Saturday, thanks to Lady Justice. Yes, we will be getting to that.
Justice was served that night.
In a very different way, though, this time. In a very different way.
Dude, she slayed that cosplay.
Yeah, she did. She
the home
sure
of
did.
the family, Marisol.
Tim Sim coming in next as well. Pouring one out for Jill's broken Corruption heart. Hopefully something greater comes from this downfall.
Oh, God.
Thank you.
Next week, it's going to be like, all right, Corruption's not a team anymore. They don't even exist.
Yeah.
Right? Corruption, the faction, gone.
Yeah.
No more.
And then Jamar Jones, have you guys watched the scene at the end of the free-for-all, or are you watching that next? We're going to watch that when the free-for-all discussion comes. So that'll be after the two title matches.
I don't think I've
check that
watched
out.
it.
I didn't watch that one
Exactly.
either.
There you go.
Oh,
We're going to be reacting to it.
I was going to say, if we're going to talk about it, I haven't watched it.
Oh no, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. We'll watch it, and then we'll talk about it. But that'll come once the free for all discussion comes a little bit later on this show. All right. So look, we're 15 minutes in. We have two title matches and a gigantic event as free for all to talk about. Let's start off with the team's title, Shazam. And this has kind of been building a little bit because Christian put this ultimatum to Corruption that Koi had said, hey, this is the stipulations if we have to play these guys again. We beat them twice already. If we beat them, they have to disband. They can no longer be a team indefinitely. They're
I blame
separated.
you, Koi Jandrew. I blame you.
Never trust
and
anyone.
but look, let's be honest. As much as
Koi.
as much as the scenes were kind of like building up, like, oh, Corruption really didn't deserve the shot. They should have gotten a number one contender shot first. They were the only teams left. They are still a very, very good team.
Damn
They're the and someone can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but they were the longest lasting team up until Friday.
They were.
They were the remaining Anarchy team that we had seen from a few years ago. And they've won belts, they've lost belts, they've made their names for themselves in their own divisions. But the faction of Korruption was created because of the team of Korruption, not the other way around.
Yep.
Usually it's the other way around. The faction was created because of these two guys. And Shannon said it in the post interview. She got the gig because of those two guys. And what happened with Ken and Grace a number of years ago at Spectacular and all the kind of wishy-washy stuff that was happening there. And this was no slouch of a match. Korruption had the lead after the
They
first
were
and
winning
second
the
round.
whole entire game.
Yeah,
First,
they-
second, third, and
You're right.
fourth.
Good call. Thank you. You're right. They were leading the entire time up until that 5-pointer.
Their first missed
and
5-pointer.
As they said in the post interview, they counted something twice. They thought they forgot a film, which was the Tony Scott. How many times did Tony Scott directed Denzel? The answer was 5. They said 6. They recounted multiple times through their 3 repeats, and without really, I mean, it's hard. You don't have something to write on. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
They miscounted and they counted one of those films twice. They were one movie away from returning as team champions and dethroning Shazam. And look, Shazam played great. I don't think they played like absolutely stellar like we've seen them play in the past, but Mike and Chance were right there. They were right there the entire time. And unfortunately for them, it ended with them officially no longer being a team. And we saw the emotion rush out. And it's tough to watch, even for people who may not be fans of them. They are pivotal parts of this game, and seeing that it was pretty crazy. So Jill, I'll let you start this off, Jill. You're obviously the Korruption quote unquote shill here.
Jill, the Korruption shill.
What did you think about everything that happened with that team title match? The long pause says it all.
Because I think it was worse knowing the outcome before watching the match, because I'm watching it going, they're in the lead, they're killing it, they're doing great, and I know what's gonna happen. And it was heartbreaking, you know, like it was a killer match. And I think, I will say though, I think it was either Brendan or Bibbs who said it in their post interview that this was not their match today. Korruption just happened to be a lot more unlucky than they were.
Yeah.
Because Korruption had it in the bag, and they just, like they said, they just overcounted one more movie, and that one misstep cost them both the titles and this long-running team that I and some others have come to know and love, you know, and it was hard, you know, like it was I thought the match was fun. I really liked the match too, because it was fun to see everyone kind of like goof off with each other and just have.
They were very respectable to each other.
Yeah, like there was no like smack talk. There wasn't any mind games. They were all
I don't
having.
think you're
they
gonna
were
ever
having
get that from Shazam.
Yeah.
Too. So.
And like,
No,
they
but
were having a good time.
we've seen Bibbs and Brendan at times have a little snarky comment.
Yeah.
You know, but I think it's their history, right? It's even though Shazam has beaten them now 3 times, each time was like barn burners.
Yeah,
like
51-50.
Collision last year, right? They won on an overtime question that only Bibbs got correct.
Only Bibbs got freaking Kevin Bacon.
Chance killed the speed round that time. The former time, they had to hit the 5 to win to beat Korruption.
Mm-hmm.
It's the history, and you know, I think when it's all said and done, I don't know if Shazam has like an immediate rival, but it almost feels like Korruption is their rival because they've played so many times together. Each match has been down to the wire, insanely close. Each player seems to have had their moment at times. It's never been like one person or you know, the other or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's just, yeah, it's. I honestly
shut up. You loved it because
no.
you
Look, I did.
You
And
loved
yes,
it.
and Christopher Cycler said at the beginning, he said, "Jake, your quirky mercury can burn. Now it can be raised to the heavens by my good work." No, look, it was like one of the few matches I've seen Shazam play where I was like watching it, I'm like, oh, this is not going how I expected it to go. And it's such a, and my thought quickly is just because I want to hear Brian's as well, because I know you're a bit, Mike Konowski was like the guy you catapulted to the second you got into this league. But honestly, the thing that I think the entire match hinged on wasn't the 5-pointer. It was Bibb's speed round guess.
God, the Pirates
Dude,
one.
It didn't end up statistically point-wise help them.
But that was the entire match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that was like a gut blow.
That was a total momentum swing.
Yeah.
And when the question was asked, I thought they were going to ask about an actor, how many times that actor has been, or what actor has been in this movie how many times or whatever.
Yeah.
Like asking for a name. When he said 5, I go, you dummy, you didn't listen to the whole question. They go, oh, you're right. I'm like, oh my God.
He didn't even get like 6 words in before he stopped him and just said 5.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But I mean, Brian, go ahead. What did you think about Korruption Shazam?
I am more angry at the fact that Korruption had this match the whole entire game.
Yeah.
Than I am if they would have just lost. Like
not been leading the whole, leading in
even round, back and forth. It's the fact that they had them every single round.
Yeah.
Up until one question.
Yeah.
And that one question has catastrophic consequences. So I think that is what upsets me more than anything. Because I don't want to see Korruption done. They were like my favorite team coming in outside of the Looney Bin.
Both teams now, bye-bye.
Yeah, now
I want to talk about it.
I know.
Oh yeah, you were a big Looney Bin fan too.
Yeah. I just feel like poor Korruption's just getting like kicked down the street, and it's just not
lately for sure.
Like what more can we take?
Don't put that into the universe, Brian. Do not put that.
Yeah, I've already suffered enough heartbreak this season. I really don't need any more.
I don't know. It the closest they ever came point wise was 2, and that was just going into the final round.
Yep.
And it's just like, I mean, it was 20-18 in round 1, but then that lead built, and it built some, well, it stayed the same, but it just was just a constant flow. Korruption just seemed to be in a flow. And then just one question.
Yeah.
Like, I was waiting for like maybe a Mike doesn't know something, or Chance.
He played great.
He played fantastic. I was waiting for maybe a chance to answer too fast, and
which he freaked Mike out.
Mike. They even left the swear in, because I went back and went, "Wait a minute, did he just say what I think he said?" And he did. Yeah, it's just devastating that Shazam. I mean, Shazam. Were they their A+ game? No. Were they still playing like an A- level? Yeah. I mean, they still got 43 points at the end of it. That's a lot of freaking points.
Mm-hmm.
So it just sucks. It freaking sucks if you're a Korruption fan that this is how it has to end. And I hate that it has to end on like something so close.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they would have been like having some like, oh, first round this way, second round this way, third round same, fourth round, just anything other than just leading, lose. Like that's the hardest pill to swallow, I think.
Agreed. All right, I'm gonna bring up a couple comments that might start a little conversation here. Leo Logan said on the rundown, Chance thought Ricochet was one of them, but it was not. Okay, so they just counted an extra movie that actually wasn't one of them, which makes sense. Christopher Steichleather, I cried like a baby during the Korruption.
Oh my
interview.
god, seeing because like we know that Mike gets emotional when it comes to like championship titles and stuff like that, but this was I mean, regardless if you like Korruption or not, this was the end of a legacy, and
Chance is his protege.
Yeah, he literally brought Chance into this Schmoedown, and he had him under his wing this entire time.
Yeah.
And it was like seeing both Mike and Shannon just absolutely heartbroken was so hard to watch because I felt it. I felt it too, and I was so sad.
Yeah. Tim Sims says it was certainly one of the most painful ways to let victory slip through your fingers.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Mike and Chance because they know that they could have had Shazam probably multiple times.
Yeah.
And just little teeny things have stopped them from winning.
That's the reason why Koi was like, they can't be a team anymore because they can beat us, and they've almost done so multiple times.
Koi's just afraid of a challenge.
Yeah, Koi, you're afraid.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Koi.
Moving on.
Fine.
Tim Sam with the super chat coming through says, at this point, outside of King Arthur, who in the team's division can face Shazam?
I don't even know.
Database and Janine look deadly.
But they've only had one match.
I know, but I'm saying like I would
give them like one or two more matches. I think someone, I don't know who it was that said it, or maybe Tim Sim just said it in the super chat, but I think King Arthur is the only.
Yeah, as of right now.
The only team.
As of right now, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there's some great teams out there that have kind of been put together. Like, we don't know what Irwin and Harley is going to look like. Are we going to see a Paul Oyama, Adam Collins team like Harrison says?
Irwin and Harley did not.
Right now, like, it's kind of it, right? And Shazam and King Arthur are the only two teams that have carried over. Everything else has kind of been shifted. So it's only fair to really say that those are the two teams at the moment. Yeah. But I'm interested when we do see King Arthur, because we know that Griffin Williams is crazy busy.
Yeah.
When will we see them next? Then final question here from Vapion. Do you think Shannon goes after a rogue team like Press Room to be the new faction team now that they can see, now that it seem to be a face faction?
No.
Get ready for Chance and Marisol.
Yeah, I think it would.
I think
it like there's no way it's not Chance and Marisol. Like that A-list team is literally right there. Like there's no way Shannon doesn't just ride with that.
They need a good name. Like the Slaughterhouse or something.
They're
just gonna like
the Slaughterhouse.
Just something, because they're just going to run through people.
Yeah, that's gonna if they if they announce that as the official team, which I'm really hoping they do, because it would reunite like two of my fallen teams and like bring them together into one. So
it's gonna have to have a name that ends with a shun.
Gordon already put it in there. Inception.
Yeah.
Inception would be,
I mean, it's a team within a team that was from
I like
teams.
Inception. I do like Inception.
Yeah, Inception wouldn't be bad. I wonder if they would be able to do that though because of movie rights.
So. And it's just a word. They can't claim.
Yeah, but they changed rock stars because of
because Roxy was using it.
Yeah.
For like her
redemption. That's better. Redemption.
Redemption's
better.
That's a good one.
Harrison, you're on the right path, my friend. That's a good call. Redemption is a little better. One. But it definitely has to have that shun at the end. It just has to. No matter what.
I mean, you would have some strong looking teams if you're going with Shazam, King Arthur,
the Shun team,
the Database, and Janine.
The system.
Yes, thank you. That was it. The system, the appointment.
I mean, they announced Oyama and Collins.
They did announce that. Yeah.
Those are some like.
Those are heavy hitters. Those are heavy hitters.
Teams.
100% heavy hitter teams. Pollution, Alan Smithy. Wow.
Insurrection. I like that one, Brian.
I like Redemption. I think Redemption's
pretty good.
That's pretty solid.
Pretty good.
I'm sure Christian's like, oh yeah, that's good, but now I got a good name.
No, Redemption, Christian. It's so perfect. It fits the storyline and everything. It's great.
All right,
I like Slaughterhouse, but that's just
not that. That's just brutal. Can you imagine that? There you go, Brian Ward. Corruption with a C. Corruption with a C.
Corruption just spelled correct.
Yes, that's great. That's great. Okay, highlighted comment here from Cena Bigelow. Massive Shazam fan, huge, but my heart breaks for Korruption. I legit was tearing up. They were the last standing team from Anarchy. This was their most heartbreaking match for multiple reasons. Yeah.
Yep.
We agree, even though that I am also a massive Shazam
Get
fan.
it.
You know what? I'm going to flaunt my fandom, okay? I'm going to flaunt it because they're winners.
I was gonna wear my sweatshirt, but it's really hot in my room, so I didn't.
I know. I was telling myself all day, make sure you wear your Korruption shirt. And what did I end up putting on? The Dungeon one next.
I just have the sweatshirt, and it's very warm in my room right now.
So I wanted, because we were talking about the whole Chance Marisol thing, I just want to quickly add essentially what Gordon was saying here. I do think that Mike is kind of step down and say,
100%.
look, I've done what I need to do with Chance. I have brought him in. I've kind of guided him. Now he has surpassed me. I'm giving him the opportunity. He's going to focus strictly on IG, and we're going to see a Chance Marisol team up where they are going full on in their own divisions, respectfully. And we could see Korruption turn this thing around because they've had a little bit of a rough go so far this season.
It'll be the less serious singles player. Like, sure, I'll play, but clearly I think is going to be
for sure
like eyes set on Inner Geekdom and keeping that belt as long as he possibly can.
For sure. All right. Well, any final thoughts on Shazam Korruption before we move on to the surprise match of the evening?
I just don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay. I will.
So let's talk about another one that's going to make you really sad.
A little bit
Let's talk about the other match that's going to make me upset.
So like we've been theorizing and discussing and wondering for the last 4 months. Waiting. Good call. When Paul Oyama would cash in his free-for-all victory from last season. You know, he had the chance with Marisol a few times leading up to the season. Then he obviously had the chance with Sam a couple weeks leading up to this. He also had the opportunity with teams if he did want to do that. But being that, as my laundry goes off, being that he and Adam actually haven't played together yet, it didn't really make sense.
Copyright for that. That'd be funny.
I would not be surprised with YouTube. These suckers. But look, so we got a little surprise gift at the end of the Shazam Korruption match, and Paul Oyama brought the swag came out. They look great as a faction, by the way. They looked fantastic.
Good looking faction.
And he led to believe a little bit that he was going to do the team thing. He had Adam Collins next to him. He officially declared
should have done the team thing.
Well, after the match.
Avenge Korruption, Paul.
He officially claimed Adam as his partner going into this season. But he said, nope, Sam, let's dance. And we got a match between Samm Levine and Paul Oyama. And unfortunately, it did not go Paul's way whatsoever. Ended in a very shocking KO by Samm Levine in the 4th round, the speed round. It was a tough match. It was a very tough match. They both look great the first round, but you can kind of see things twist and turn a little bit in the second round. And then obviously the big betting round was kind of like the one that really just changed everything.
That was the nail in the coffin.
These are the matches that make me laugh looking back at them because it's like, oh, this is pretty solid. Like they're playing against each other. And then you like go get a glass of water and it's like, and you're winning. And you're like, what? What the hell just happened? Yep. Like, it's like it turned on a dime.
That was like Lightning Time Shazam last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
That teams match that flipped on its head in a heartbeat.
Yeah. This thing just turned fast.
Yeah.
And, I mean, going round 1, 11-10. Pretty great. Can't complain. Round 2, Paul's running through it.
What category did you get, Brian?
You
don't have it written down.
Was it new releases? No, I had it in the top of my head because it was an easy. Margot Robbie.
Okay, that's right.
And hit that last question, and no so good. And
but it was only a 1-point steal.
So 1 point steal. Yeah, but I mean, it sucks that that's your last one. That it's just like, oh, you tripped. Like after he got two, and I don't know how many twos I said.
Yeah.
You said 3 twos.
Okay, well, 4 twos. And then Sam steals that one, so it's like crap.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to give Sam any extra points.
No.
And then Sam does his thing. So you're end of round 2, 22 to 18. You're like, you're chilling. That's not a horrible.
You literally have 3 rounds still at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
22 to 18. You're like, okay, not sweating it. And
We've
then-
seen larger turnaturns. We've seen people come from behind. So like
Ben Bateman lost 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Ben. Sorry,
No,
Ben.
sorry. No, sorry.
He doesn't watch this show. Let's be real.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I've gotten some text messages.
Okay,
before.
perfect. Good. Come after me, Ben. Love it. Love it.
But yeah, that betting round. I can't remember the last time a betting round was devastating.
Yeah.
Like-
Well, Shazam Lightning Time, I think, is the one that I think of.
Oh, that's right.
That was a 3-point or a 6-point swing in that
And
match.
didn't Marisol get her betting question against Ethan?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. It started off like, okay, like he's still in this. And then
I thought it was going to be incredible.
Yeah.
I just had this feeling that Paul was going to play as good as, like, because you're cashing in, right? You're calling someone out. That should get your blood pumping. But like, Brian, you're right. I think even though it was a 1-point steal, it being at the end of the round before Sam goes was a complete momentum shifter.
And then Sam just does Sam.
And then obviously it's the betting round that the one is that changes everything, right? No matter what is happening with momentum, if you miss it and someone else gets it when you're both betting 3, like at that point, it's just, yeah.
And Paul was convinced Paul thought he had it. Like,
yeah.
Paul is not stupid. He was unsure, he wouldn't have put a 3.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he would have done a 2, not a 1. I don't see Paul only betting 1, but yeah. I mean, he was visibly like crap when Sam flipped his board around.
Because he knew he knew that
Yeah.
Sam was right.
So it just turned on a dime and just down.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. It was rough. It was rough to watch. Like, especially because you know that he's been holding on to that
For a
title
year.
for a year.
Year.
Only for him to cash it in and then end it like that.
Yeah.
And he killed his round 1 and 2 were great. It just all that betting round just once you're at a 6+ point deficit, it's hard to, especially competing up against someone like Sam, who up until that point had not missed a question.
Sam looked a little nervous. Is that just me? Just a little bit?
I think it was more so like, you're calling me out. Like, I think he was playing into the whole, like, oh, you called me out. I was sitting in the crowd 5 seconds ago. Why am I here? Maybe I was drinking too much last night. We're not studying, you know?
Yeah.
Not that he was. I'm just saying, like, playing the role. But I do have a question about Sam. Is he beatable?
Yes.
At this point,
that match. It's funny. Paul didn't. Sorry, Joe. I've been talking. About you say yours. Go ahead.
I was just saying if he hasn't missed a question up until free for all. So regular matches since he has come back from retirement, he has not missed a question. Like, and obviously we'll talk about it. We saw in free for all, he does have his weak spots. So it is possible. There was a round or 2 where Paul got more questions than Sam did in the free for all.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Sorry. We're going to talk about it. So sorry. Spoiler alert. But is he beatable? Of course, everybody is. Everyone's going to have their day, where they just get a match that they don't know. But I think it's going to be a bit.
I think it's
not when you've got Marisol probably having 2 title shots.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure. And
She's got 1 guaranteed. And let's be honest, if you think that she ain't getting back on her own,
oh yeah,
well, she doesn't. Yeah, she'll probably end up being there. I'll make a slight prediction. I'd probably say that it's going to be a Marisol Sam rematch at Collision.
Oh, for
I'll
sure.
say that.
That'd be my
I think
guess.
Marisol will beat whoever she needs
Makes
to
sense.
for #1 contender, and then she'll get back to Samm by collision. And I think Marisol right now, especially after seeing the free for all, I don't think there's two people better than Samm and Marisol.
right now.
Like not even Dan Murrell right now, personally. I think Samm and Marisol are in a completely different class.
Yeah.
I
Marisol
think
lost
they are
to
top
Samm playing a perfect game.
two.
Like,
Yeah.
she got no question wrong and still lost. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
legendary.
It's
Yeah.
funny. I don't know if it's just me, but like, I mean, he clearly did great in this one, but like watching it, when I watched him play Marisol, it was like, dude, this guy is just unbeatable. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't miss. And then watching this one, even though like he played damn near perfect, I was like, he looks a little vulnerable today. Like, I don't know why, because I was like, this. If he would have played like this playing Marisol, I think he would have lost.
But he didn't miss.
I
He
know,
didn't
and
miss it.
that's why it was so.
How
weird
does he look
watching.
vulnerable if he
He
doesn't
didn't miss that
miss?
question.
I don't know. I don't know. I was more
He
worried
didn't miss
for
a single
him.
question.
I'm so confused.
I don't know. It was weird.
Are you thinking of the free for all, Brian? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
of?
are you thinking of the free for all?
No, it's weird. Like, he just like, I don't know. Maybe it was like you said, like it was thrown out there so quickly that it was just like, I don't know. It just, he didn't look to me as like game ready as he was against Marisol.
Well, he literally
Again,
got called
if-
off the couch to
I
play.
know. That's why I'm
He
saying
couldn't
that's
be
probably
game
why.
ready.
That is called acting.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm super interested in where the title path goes now. Who is a #1 contender for Marisol to play? And I know that they released the official rankings, and someone can probably tell me in the chat what's going to happen with the title path, because I'm sure maybe it's been announced or alluded to. But Marisol's going to be waiting for someone, and I really do think that whoever is going to be facing Marisol is just going to their deathbed at that point. Like, it just the way that she played versus Samm and the way that she played it at free for all, and she made free for all look like so easy.
She was out there dancing.
It's just
stuff.
like
Queen.
Okay, so Ethan versus Bibbs, and the winner plays Marisol. Okay,
It's a good one.
That's a good one.
that's good. So the three people that Samm would be waiting on would be Bibiani, Mr. Irwin, and Marisol.
It's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I really do think. I mean, look, anybody could beat anybody on any given day. They can, but the way that people have looked so far this year, I don't think there's anybody better than Marisol and Samm, personally.
Not as of right now, no.
in the singles division.
In the singles division.
In the singles division, yeah, you're right.
It's hard to-
Rude, damn Jake to what? What did I say wrong?
What I do?
What did I say wrong?
What I do?
I didn't say anything bad, right? Okay. Even when Samm thinks he's wrong, he's right. Fair.
That's the best thing
Fair.
about it, though, is like he just straight up guesses. He's like, "What? I got it right." Cool.
All right. Well, any final thoughts on? Well, I mean, okay. Quick question before we move on to free for all. Where does Paul go from here? Where does Paul go from here? Right. I mean, he loses the title shot. It's a bit of a struggle match.
My
Does he pick up the
honest
pieces?
answer:
Go ahead.
he focuses on teams.
How can you not when your partner is Adam?
Your partner's Adam Collins, and to be perfect. I mean, to be perfectly 100% honest, Paul's had a rough go of singles recently. Other than his free for all performance last year, like he really didn't have the best of the best singles seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he should put a lot of his focus into teams, just like we said, especially if his partner is going to be the freaking Coyote. Like, that's what I would do. But
I agree.
what do I know? I just
I'm with you. Maybe get back on the horse right away. I don't know. And there's a couple different options.
I think the next time we see him would be a teams match before I see.
I think so too.
Yeah, I would agree. You got to get some of the teams going anyway for that division.
Mhm.
They're all very fresh, so you kind of have to get them, especially a team like Paul and Adam. So, could you imagine a teams match with Adam and Paul versus Chance and Marisol?
Ah,
Do you want me to like just have,
the
so
former
comatose, like
of the two former fan leaguers who are bitter rivals in Paul and Chant, and then the former teammates in Adam and Marisol.
Christian Harloff, if you're listening, I would like to be booked to do post interviews that day.
Oh, you want to be for that? I would.
Yeah, because
think
for
you'd
that
wanna
one, no
be
matter what
nowhere near
happens,
it.
I'm not mad. I'm not upset.
You say that
no matter what
now.
happens.
You say that now.
One last question before we move on. Amaru says Paul and Adam can beat Shazam. Them boys good.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
maybe,
think so
but
too.
Rue, let's be real. Let's be real.
Dude, if
Come on.
Paul and Adam are just a game, they are a heavy threat.
That's scary.
All right, Brian, we have a super chat from one of our patrons. You want to go and read that bad boy?
I'm assuming you mean you wanted him to throw in the towel at some point, Daryl. If that's what you're
Daryl.
implying.
Thank you.
I had to do a little bit of
Yeah, he dies. He dies like Rocky IV,
Yeah.
Apollo Creed. I think that's what
Throwing
he's
towel.
alluding to. So
I've seen those movies, shockingly.
I have not.
Hmm.
Don't tell
should watch
Kevin
them,
Smith that.
you should watch him, Jill.
Okay.
Oh, now he knows.
Okay, so I realized as we were talking that we can't actually react to a scene because it's not available publicly.
I was wondering what you were saying.
So we will save that for a later date when it is actually
it's public next. It's public next Friday. This coming
So
Friday.
keep that in mind, everyone who's watching. We will not watch it. We'll save it for when it goes public, and we'll react to it. Because it's Molly's birthday, I'm pretty sure she probably has not seen it either. And we'll do a reaction to
Oh
it.
darn! We probably can't post my things that I talked about then because it's not holiday.
Oh.
But
I
like,
don't know.
but
I
we're
mean,
gonna be talking about it.
That one picture.
Maybe not.
That one picture of you know who in the lounge chair had me
maybe not.
crying.
There's one specific picture, Jill, that is actually of the event.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
we can't
not
do that. One. Yeah, no.
Actually, and we can't do the two videos either.
Okay. Well, Monday.
Because the event is in the background.
Monday.
I don't care. Just show that one picture. That picture had me.
We have two pictures to show. If you want to show two pictures. So if
we
you
can do the
walk
two
them through
pictures.
those.
I do have some. I can't show all the BTS videos because it will show.
Hi, Brandy.
Although we're gonna talk about it. Hi, Brandy. We're gonna talk about it, but it's not aired to the public yet, so we can't.
For whatever reason you're here and you don't want free for all spoiled, leave now.
Yeah, you
Speak
should
now for
become a
everyone's peace.
Schmoedown Patreon anyway, just because of this event. This is the best event ever.
Freaking love this event.
Okay, so look, Free for All 5. There's been a lot of lead up to this. It's been hyped up for a couple weeks now. We obviously know the details of this. How specifically this year we're getting back to the old school way of anybody can play, anybody can partake, and boy was that the case more than ever. Because we got some really fun, surprising players in this matches. Specifically managers who appeared, FCL competitors showed up. We had a couple people come out of retirement just to play, but then we also had someone who came out of retirement who is officially back in the Schmoedown. Thank goodness that said person is actually back in the Schmoedown. And we'll definitely be talking about that. 40 competitors, a number of questions. And the hype is always who is where, right? Who is where are they essentially drafted in this process? What number are they given? Because obviously when you're given a later number, it's always a little bit more of a plus. We've seen players in the past go pretty much all the way. Bibbs is from a few years ago. He went from number 1 all the way to the last question up against Damrel, ended up losing. This time, 5 players coming out of the gate spoils the first time.
For free for all from here on out.
The first table was ridiculous.
God.
But it led with Samm Levine at number 1 and William Bibiani at number 2. Poor Bibbs. This guy can never get a good draw.
He can't catch a break.
Just ever. And it's so unfortunate. And he didn't have the best free-for-all performance, probably the least favorite of the bunch. He didn't play that well, but he played great. He just didn't play that well.
For Bibbs standards, anyway.
But the poor dude, I mean, he was given 2 out of 40. It feels like he's been given 1 or 2 the past 4 times.
Give him a 30s. Put him in the 30s. Dude has a bad knee.
At least 25.
I think he'd be happy with a double digit at this point.
Dude has a bad knee. Let him like he can't. That's a long time to stand. Give him a later number. He deserves it at this point.
At least
Dang
a
it.
stool.
No, he
God's
will never
sakes.
sit down.
I know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
He'll never sit down.
All right. Well, who wants to open this up with something specific that we want to kind of chat about outside of the winner? Obviously, anything out? Anything?
I kind of like that the singles champion was number one.
I think Sean and I were just rewatching it before we started, and we agreed that it should be a rule that all current champions should at least be 1 through 10, somewhere in there.
I think there should be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Singles and teams, not IG. I wouldn't include IG in that.
We saw how far we went.
Amaru.
Yes,
the
but there,
of
yes,
5 rounds.
There are some good IG players
Saul,
who know it all, but there are also some IG players.
Mike Kalinowski, who is a former team champion.
I get it, but there are some players in Inner Geekdom that are strictly Inner Geekdom. Okay, and maybe they'll get through to a second round, to a third round, they'll squeak by because the questions are in their favor. But for the most part, they are IG heavy players. That's just my personal preference. I definitely agree with. I think singles and teams champions should be in the first table. Personally, I think they should be in the first table.
I'd say at least the first 10.
I think it makes perfect sense to be first 5. You literally have 5 people with the belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Including the Star Wars champion?
Yeah. If they want to play. I mean, why not?
Yeah, I would take IG and Star Wars out of it. Maybe put them at like top 15.
You have a belt. Do you really need
But they're not specific to single. They're not specific to singles and teams.
Yeah, but look at how deadly
IG questions and
but singles and teams is now doing that now. So like it's just singles and teams division on a heightened level.
I just think it makes perfect sense. You have 5 people holding a belt, 5 people in a round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just makes perfect sense. To me, singles player should absolutely be the number 1 every single time. I mean, it makes too much sense to me.
But don't ever say they're number 1 because the mystery behind the number 1 is always fun.
That's why I'm saying that it should be 1 through 10. Because if it's 1 through 5, we know who's going to be at that first table.
Yeah.
It should be 1 through 10.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking, do I want Sam playing 40 people or do I want Sam playing 30 people? I want Sam playing 40 people if I'm anyone else.
But he didn't look great. Like, let's be honest. Like, Sam, like,
dude went 4 rounds. It's pretty good for seat number 1.
But he went 4 rounds because other people with him were not playing very well. He had a lot of
didn't care as much.
Well, probably, and for sure, I probably agree with that. But I'm sure he cared a little bit. I mean, the free for all is kind of a big deal if you win and you want to show off, especially if you're a number 1 player. I don't know. I mean, it's either way. I think the mystery behind where the numbers are have been working out perfectly. I think this year was better than ever with the whole, number system and how it kind of worked out. Highlight. Ken Knapsack announcing himself and announcing from the table. Perfect.
And then he had to do it again.
It was great. Loved it. Seeing him back was fantastic. But no, I mean, I know
only
people,
Star Wars representation.
Yeah. And I know people mentioned the chat,
I guess.
but I want to make sure I mention it too. But I mean, Amaru had like the highlight. He was his rounds. He was.
My guy went 5 rounds.
He killed it.
I wish we lovingly, well, I think it was Kevin who calls it first, but we all lovingly dubbed ourselves the hashtag the tailgaters. All the competitors and everyone, we were all outside watching on a monitor, and we were at a slight delay from everything that was happening inside, but apparently like all the competitors could hear us when we were like screaming about what was happening. And Rue, like everything Rue did, we were all losing our minds. Rue and Saul, there was a moment, now that it's in my mind, so we don't talk about it now, I'm going to forget. The one where Kaiser was there with Saul and Kaiser. Yeah. And if Kaiser had gotten that question correct, Saul would have swept the table.
Yeah.
So we're all back there. We're all huddled around the screen and we're going, it's a baseball question. Kaiser's gonna get it. Kaiser's gonna get it. It's a baseball movie. He's got this. Saul's gonna clear the table. And then he wrote that freaking thing about JTE, and all of us collectively let out this groan of disappointment. Like, are you kidding me? Freaking Kaiser. Darn it. Would have been so good, but Ruben still freaking killed it. There were so many like Fishburne came out of nowhere. Freaking rocked it.
Fishburne, Amaru, and Harley all went 5 rounds.
Harley.
That's pretty freaking good.
So many people just came in and freaking rocked it.
I'm looking at it.
It was a treat. It was a treat, let me tell you. Yeah, Rue, the tailgate was dope. I have stories about the tailgate. I'm mad that we can't. We'll show actual video I took next week once the pay-per-view actually drops to the public. I didn't take as many as I would like, but the ones I did take are
Mr. FCL champ himself is actually here. Yeah,
there
if
you
he's
go.
looking after something
He did
big,
phenomenal.
you hear a ton of screams outside.
Yeah.
I think if he was in a little bit of the later of the rounds, his performance would have been like it would have been talked about even more.
I think so too.
He was just in the middle, and he, like I said, he played great. He had a couple 5-point rounds and
Killed it.
There were a lot of big moments in this. I mean, we could talk about the one table sweep of Ben Bateman on a missed question.
Yep.
I mean, like, do you grant that a table sweep, or like, I know it's a table sweep, but
The table sweep.
That was Bateman, we all love you, but that was also another collective groan from the tailgaters of when Bateman swept the table. We went, oh, we're not going to hear the end of this, are we? It was released the Free For All documentary. Listen, I wish I had filmed more, Travis. But we were all so freaking invested in what was happening. I wasn't paying attention. But
did anyone else collectively groan when Chandru was number 40?
Oh my god!
Well, because we all knew at that point.
Oh, that's
like,
true. You knew.
Stripping,
when he
the
was
stripping that was happening.
That part, all of us went, "Oh my god,
ridiculous!"
That was.
I went.
This guy's unhinged.
Because I'm sitting there going, "Who could it be? Who could it be?" Number 40 is always like the big one. And then when he comes out, I go, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Yep.
I was like, "Oh."
And he takes out Merle with him,
And he
and it's
takes
just like,
out
oh.
Merle.
Like, come on, you really got to give this guy a little bit more of an ego at this point. Like,
Yep.
come on.
Yep.
I love this moment. Leo mentioned it. Classic JT with Jupiter descending, not ascending.
Great.
Was anyone
So
else,
great.
Was anyone else absolutely flabbergasted that he spelled Jumanji right?
Yes.
I was flabbergasted. I was literally, when I saw them flipping, let's be honest, I probably didn't know the answer. When I saw them starting to flip, and I went, "Oh my god, he's got to spell Jumanji," and then he spelled it right, and I went, "Oh, okay." I was not expecting that.
I want to bring up this. So, Leo, there's actually a fun fact about this one. The Hartley writing Bryan Cranston when he wasn't even an option. That again,
He was
Cranston
annoying
correct.
me so bad.
So I wasn't there, but I heard the story. There's a fun BTS story with that apparently Harley and a couple other competitors were in an Uber, and the Uber was playing like an episode of that one show he's in, Bryan Cranston.
Malcolm in the Middle or Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. So there, and like apparently the Uber driver was Bryan Cranston's like stand-in or like stunt double or something.
Wow.
So that's why the Bryan Cranston thing like happened, because of that, and became like this inside joke. Thank you, Rue. Yeah. So like Rue, did I tell that story correctly? Because like I wasn't there, but like there's like a whole backstory.
Another free-for-all competitor here.
Yay!
Gubbins returned.
I was so
in
happy.
Incredible icebox costume, by the way.
So
good.
Just
So good.
fantastic. I knocked out Kanowski. Yes, I understand
you
there were
did.
3 others up there, but in mind, I did that. And yes, you did.
Cheers.
Yes, you did.
Mhm.
Look, there were a lot of big moments. Chat, please mention them if we're not mentioning them. There's a ton out there. A lot of players who returned. We can talk about Shannon Barney getting a question correct.
She got 2.
2 questions.
2
correct.
questions.
Got 2.
And
That's
she
one
was
of
so
my
pumped.
spoiler alert. That's one of my videos, which I can't show. Great. We can show her picture. Show the picture I took.
Oh
Of
my
this-
god.
of
I
this
saw
show.
this.
So
And
we
was
dubbed ourselves
dying.
the tailgaters because we had to move everything outside. They moved a big screen outside so we could all we're all there. They want us to see what's happening. So they put out a big screen so we could see a live feed of what's going on. And like Kaiser and Winston and Shannon are like, let's go grab some drinks. Let's go get food. So like I think Shannon had like badminton and handball and beach chairs were brought out. We were legit legit tailgating. So I managed to grab this picture of the absolute goddess that is Shannon Barney. Look at this absolute queen.
She is fully living her life to the fullest.
The absolute dream with beer in hand, beach chair. What a legend. I would only if I could be just an ounce of how cool Shannon Barney is, I will be happy. Like absolute goddess status right there.
I love seeing her. Because she was she the first manager to come in? I think she was the first manager.
No,
Kaiser was the first manager to come in. So either way, like I expected Kaiser to come in at some point just because Kaiser's played in matches before. Shannon's
really,
never
I didn't.
Well, okay, maybe I didn't expect him to come in, but I wasn't surprised that he was there. Is more so just because he's played in matches before. Never in my mind would I think that Shannon Barney would get.
Whit was
near.
Sorry.
Technically.
Adam Whit.
Poor guy. We always forget.
Yeah,
I forgot he was in the Star Wars division.
But he's he's still a player. Like I'm just like.
Anyway, everyone go watch the Patreon Star Wars TV match
and watch the conference as well about Sean and Adam prepping and preparing you for that match.
I don't think I've ever been more happy to not be on something.
Than that, you have no idea, man. Oh my god, that was something. That was something. But yeah, look,
when Saul comes on, I'm just like, oh,
yeah. So look, there's obviously a lot to talk about when it comes to free for all. We have a lot more to discuss, but I think at this point, let's talk about the winner, the final two that came down. And I can't tell you how happy I am that Paul Preston did as well as he did, because he has been struggling so hard for the last couple years, and specifically in the singles division. He got a win with teams earlier this year, and he played great, but a lot of that washed right away when he didn't shake Marisol's hand and he just turned full heel on her at the end. Like after that, like, come on, it's almost like a non-canon event in Schmoedown. Like, come on, be a little respectful.
Mr. The Paul Preston.
My anxiety for all that was so through the roof, because I got brought in and like the final 3 or 4 I got brought backstage, and I'm sitting there like kind of writing out like my outline of what I'm going to ask Marisol, because you know me, I'm like, Marisol's winning this thing, I'm going to be interviewing Marisol in a second, and then Paul starts freaking killing it, and I'm looking at my notes and I'm going, oh, okay, hold on, if Paul wins, like let me real quick, because like it came down to like insane.
It was overtime.
They went to OT,
well, Paul did so good, and part of me, I understand that Dan like killed it and went so many freaking rounds because it's
9.
Dan, so he does
9 freaking rounds.
9 rounds,
Not
spectacular. But there was a large part of me that was like, I want Preston to have this, because Preston deserves it.
How cool would it be if out of all the players like Dan, Sam, Adam, Marisol, all these players, Paul Preston's the one to walk away with a victory?
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it would have been definitely earned because he came in at 32. 32 is not a like.
Well, and he faced some haymaking players.
Yeah,
like Dan and Marisol, just to name a few. You know,
these are people that came after him: Klee, Paige, Ty, Rager, Winston, Marisol, Knapsack, Chundru. Those are not slouches.
No,
you have former champions in there, managers that know their stuff. Like he beat some people, and that's some people. I don't remember who was in there when he came in. Dan was, but other than that, I don't remember who specifically. So he had to take on.
I think Travis was, make me if I'm wrong, but Travis, I think you were there when Paul was there. I think Travis was still playing when Paul showed up.
Preston?
Yeah, I could be mistaken.
I know Travis.
Travis went. Travis went a while.
Travis went 5 rounds. He did great.
Yeah, he went a while, and he also faced some. I mean, he was up there with Adam Collins at one point. So he outlasted Ben Bateman. There's another name. Ben Bateman was there before Paul.
Yeah.
No, he came in shortly after. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Froze.
Oh, This is our show.
I can't tell if I should remove him or not.
Oh, now it's just us. Hello.
Okay.
Welcome to
Because I know he'll get mad at me if I left him.
welcome to the Brian and Phil free for all hour.
Happy hour. No.
Happy hour 2.0. Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. There were some solid people in this.
Dude.
I loved seeing some faces I did not expect to see. I did not expect to see Doug Benson.
No.
Someone
we were
styling
all,
moves. You said it. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
we were all surprised to see him because we're all hanging outside and we turn around and we think
I
there's
always
like
do
this
this.
random stalker hanging out behind us, and it takes us like a hot minute for us to realize, oh, that's Doug Benson.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. So that was someone I did not expect to see.
No.
I'm trying to think who else.
Ken announcing himself
That was hilarious.
is like prime Schmoedown moment. Like it was just so good. Oh, he's back.
There you
Dude,
go.
I thought my computer just crashed.
Oh, well, you're back. Hello.
I mean, it didn't.
Pink pixels all over the screen.
Oh, I would have freaked out.
My
Yeah.
blood was just pumping.
Oh.
Okay, anyway, what are you guys talking about?
We were just talking
We
about
were talking about
things we like.
that, and we were literally in the middle of people we were surprised to see. And I said,
Can we talk about Mark Andrenko?
Yes, we can talk about
because
Mark Andrenko.
all I had said was Benson. That surprised me seeing him walk out. But
So it's obviously well documented with the Schmoedown community with Mark Andrenko how he had to leave last year under incredible circumstances, and he had to leave a title shot, all this stuff. But someone asked it earlier in the chat. It's been confirmed. He's back. He's back.
He's back, baby.
The android is officially back. I love seeing him back. He's such a fun, unique light. He brings such a different energy to the Schmoedown. He's also really good at talking smack to Ben Bateman.
I was so happy when they got put next to each other. I will never, as long as I live, forget him being like, Ben Bateman has the most punchable face in the world that I've ever seen.
Yep.
Ever since he said that, I was like,
and then the 8 seconds joke this time was great.
Oh my god.
Great.
We lost our collective ish. We were like, did he really just say that? We lost our mind. And Draco's definitely one of those people who he can take it and dish it right freaking back. And he is unapologetic with the stuff he will say directly to your face. And I adore
Also,
it.
did you guys see his hoodie?
Yes.
It's all screenshots of his digital time, his Zoom calls and stuff.
It's so good.
I didn't pay close enough
Oh,
attention.
Brian, you got to go back and look, man.
I just got super excited to see him next to Bateman, and I was like, he's going to come for Bateman at some
100%,
point.
100%. I want to bring up this comment here from Cena. She says, I actually full happy teared seeing Andrenko, even though it was actually spoiled for me because I went to the wrong thing on Twitter. I saw someone spoil it, but man, it was so good to see him. Yes, I definitely agree with you. Seeing him in there was a lot of fun. He lasted in there a long time as well.
He did 4 rounds.
That's and Schmoedown with Mark Andrenko is just great. I'm very interested though in what happens because he was a star.
He can't see anymore. They're full.
What happens with him and Roxy? Is there going to be a little bit of a rivalry there? Is he going to kind of go for a little bit of blood because she kind of turned on everything that the stars were all about? I'm interested, and if Mark Andrenko is officially back, someone needs to pick him up immediately.
All right,
but I can also see Andrenko being like, nah,
a rogue.
Yeah, I'd be like, nah, I don't need a manager. I'm gonna do this my own way. I'm here to have a good time, take names. Shut y'all down.
Here is chapter 97.
Mark Andrenko the stars are only full if Alex Damon's a star, though, right?
Yeah, we haven't heard from Alex.
They can't just load up on singles people, though, can they?
I mean,
they can do whatever
who the hell they want.
You can literally just have 5 singles players.
They never specified that you have to have someone.
I don't think you have. I think the team could literally do all Star Wars if they wanted to.
All right. Well, I'm assuming you're doing the normal breakdown.
Yeah.
Here, Christian, here's more storyline. You have Andraco come back to Roxy, be like, all right, I'm ready, back on the team, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I don't have space for you. He's like, well, make space, get rid of one. She says no.
She kicked Alex to the curb.
Someone comes in, swoops it, and he's on a revenge war path.
Where could we see?
I could see that. So him just being like, how dare you? I made you what you are, like that whole shebang.
So we know that. So Dungeon, fan favorites, Finstock, Corky Mercs,
God, can you imagine?
Korruption are
Fan
all
stuff.
they all have spaces, right? Right?
Yeah, Korruption as of right. They have Marisol. Mike.
They have 4.
I mean, Korruption
four.
technically has a spot, right?
Yeah.
They
Mike,
have a spot because
Lance,
because
Marisol,
they offered the spot
who
to
am I
Adam,
missing?
but Adam already accepted swag. That's what it
Who
was.
am I missing outside of Mike, Chance, and Marisol?
Laura.
Yeah.
Okay, but
So
they still
they have
have a
4.
single spot, technically, if we're going off of the rule
Yes.
available.
Yeah.
So
Who's the 5th star? Nick Chandru, Mr. Irwin, Alex.
Nick Harley.
Nick Harley. Yeah, Nick Harley, Chandru.
Nick or Chandru.
Who's the
Oh.
5th? I know. I was
My-
thinking that too when you said the stars were
Is my
full.
math wrong?
I said.
Oh
who's the
no, I
5th?
don't think they have a 5th actually. It was Janine originally.
Oh, that's right. My math's wrong. I forgot
Yeah.
about that. I don't want him with her.
No, I don't. I think he's going to go back to the Stars, and he's not going to like what's happening with the Stars.
Yeah.
Because Andreko's been a heel before. He came in the league as a heel, and he didn't like it, and then he joined the 5 Club. He left he left the Horseman or whatever Roka was all about because he didn't like it. He didn't want to be a part of it.
I just don't see him coming back and going
I think it was
into
them. Yeah.
her storyline right now. I would much rather see him do
I could see
something
him
else.
going to Corruption. I could also see him going to someone like Koi.
God,
I think
no,
he's
they're
more
full.
like
Koi's full.
If he's
That
not
one
gonna be
I'm
with Roxy,
positive.
I see him being a rogue.
Koi does have 5?
Yep, that one. It's
Swag
who
and
just said
Mercs
it?
have 5.
Yeah,
Swag
Brian
and
said
Mercs
it.
have 5. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
thank you.
maxed out.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and Draco to the dungeon.
Corruption. See, now I see Corruption because they're not really like being healy right now. So
Oh no, I know for sure, for sure.
I think if
and
Andreko's
if
not
Mike-
with the Stars, he's going rogue. Hi,
But
baby Rick.
this is how you know when you go too long is when she starts making her presence known.
She wants to eat my
and-
earbud.
Yeah, well, Hilo ate Molly's. So
Oh my god, what if no. Oh, I know that we've talked about the rivalry, but what happens if Ben Bateman and Draco put their rivalry aside?
And become a team.
I mean, the bickering would be hilarious.
The
and I'm
stats.
totally okay with
The
that.
pure sass that would come out of that team.
The end scene,
Yeah.
the end scene alluded to him kind of wanting to turn over a new leaf. Whoa.
They'd be sassy.
I mean,
as F.
Bateman's
Whoa.
gonna try to like steer that team, but Andraco is gonna be like, absolutely not. Like,
It won't happen. I'm just trying to have a little fun theorizing about possibilities, but you know.
Okay, so logically, what do you think right now? Is he going to be on a team or a rogue?
rogue.
I'll
would-
say Rogue at the
I'd
moment.
say
Maybe
Rogue,
a team later on in the year, but I think he's gonna want to get his bearings, you know, a little greased up a little bit before he kind of does anything.
I think rogue.
So yeah. Anybody else that we want to talk about outside of Andreco? People that we were surprised showed up, favorites, maybe someone who didn't show up,
I was
like an
surprised
Ethan Irwin.
Mr. Ethan Irwin. I
Irwin
was
didn't
Yeah,
surprised.
Mr.
show up.
Irwin. Khan. I was surprised Khan wasn't.
I
there.
was surprised.
Yeah,
Khan
Mr.
was
Khan.
there.
Yeah.
I was
I
sad
think
he
he's still. If he's still watching, I was definitely
Mr.
surprised he wasn't there.
Mr. the King, donde está?
You know who I am
Uh,
bummed that it wasn't available to play though was Griffey Nooms. I would have. I mean, him and this.
He would have
free-for-all-
been entertaining.
Oh man.
I know. It was nice. It was nice having Dan come back during the free for all, though. Like,
I would have liked, obviously, to see more Star Wars people, but they are spread out. So
so fun fact. Sean and I were just rewatching it before I hopped on, and Sean hadn't watched it yet, and he was answering a bunch of questions, and he was like, every time he'd get a question right, he'd look at me, and then look back, and then get another question right, and then look at me, and I'm like, put him in, coach. He wants to be in free for all. Put him in. Let's go. Get Sully in there.
There you go.
Okay. He was preoccupied.
acceptable.
For our audio listeners, King Khan said, "I had a wedding to go to that weekend."
That's
Well, what's more important, Con? What's more important? No, I'm just joking. Dylan said I was expecting Sully.
You know what? Would have been nice. But he also had a previous engagement, aka he had a Dungeons and Dragons night that he had to attend.
Oh my god.
Which is why I was there and not him.
There are certain non-teams and singles people that I would just love to see play.
I do think there should have been
Hoey knows a lot about movies. I mean, it showed. Look at you had Amaru went 5 rounds. That's an IG player. Who is my?
Well, someone said in the chat last year that Alex went 3. Was in it. Yeah, Alex was in it last season, and while he was like number 40, round. He still did good though.
Yeah,
he didn't do bad.
Yeah, there are some people that I would just love to see show off.
Well, and that's in.
I was this close, Brandy. This close. For like 4 hours, I was that close, Brandy. So close.
I agree with you, Brian. I think because I've always viewed the free for all, and I know that has implications. I've always viewed it as like the non-canon edition of Schmoedown that we get for the season, because like this one showed, right? FCL champions are showing up, and we have managers playing, and people who are coming out of retirement just to play this, and so you can literally do anything, and it would be. And we saw Ken Knapsack, who was announcing. He announced himself. Which was a lot of fun. It was so perfect. He came out
with all his badges.
Yeah, it was so great. And he put his hat on backwards, and he does his classic stuff. It was great.
I mean, I don't think anyone was. But I would have expected her before I would have expected Ken to do it.
Yeah. Well, and I also love the fact that Ken he made his intro the best intro.
As he should.
It was so funny because the entire time he's doing like this whole at number 30. And then when he does his, the whole thing just like amps up and gets all jacked up and juiced, and it was just perfect. It was perfect.
I will say, I'm curious as what you guys think. There were a lot of didn't survive their first rounds that shocked me.
Like who? We have to remind
Paige.
Paige survived a round.
Oh, she did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought you
Jacoby.
Yes.
But shout out to Jacoby for bringing out the belt.
That was
the Old Navy belt. The Old Navy belt.
So good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here, I'll just read off the 0 rounders. Barbarian.
That was a shocker to me.
After calling everyone out.
Yeah, I know. That was the best. I love you, Barbarian.
Perfect karma. It was perfect karma.
Also, really quick, shout out to Barbarian for making sure that Elvis was also matched up, because we believe in safety in this house. So thank you for masking up Elvis. Number 2, while Sean and I were watching, Mr. Survivor, Jindoyan, if you are watching, Sean says that you have really good arms.
Yeah,
so
they are. They're massive.
You have very nice arms. So
they're massive.
Congratulations.
Okay, so Barbarian, the Survivor, Liz going out.
Liz went out. So
that's
quick.
a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Chance went out.
Chance
0.
was quick.
Okay, hold on. Pause the conversation. Chance's new wardrobe?
I dig it.
Really?
I dig it. The first thing Sean said when he saw Chance walk out was, finally he changed his hat.
Okay, that's fair, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just so used to him being him.
It's the new Chance. This is the post Mike Kalinowski Chance.
Yeah. For the record, for the people that are coming for saying that certain people went so many rounds, I don't count the round they lost. So I'm saying these are the rounds they survived. They survived X amount of rounds.
As Rue says, full shaft drip.
Yeah, that was it took me a second to figure out who it was.
Yeah, like I kept looking like, wait, who is that again? And I was like, oh wow, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
Kaiser didn't surprise me.
I was
Janine.
Kaiser, I'm still mad at you.
Yeah, I was bummed to see Janine go out so quickly.
I know, I was bummed too. I love Janine's music so much.
But she went up against, didn't she go up against some like major people?
She had
had some.
It was a gnarly
hitters.
table.
Okay.
Jacoby.
Oh, hold on. Okay, I know you're gonna bring her up, but poor Video Drew.
She was literally one of my next ones.
That table, she might have had the worst of the worst tables.
She literally
Like-
walked in looking pissed off and left just like middle finger. This is bullshit.
That is because she is so much better than what her performance showed. But she literally went up against. We talk about murder row of tables. She had murder row.
Yeah.
I think you could kind of tell that she walked in there going like, God dang it.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And then she walked out kind of the same way, just like, okay.
Because it was Andraco, Bateman, Dan, and who else? Harley?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh,
but,
Peggy, there you go. You mean the same table I got?
That's true.
Peggy also walked right into a murderer's row.
Yeah.
But Peggy lasted around.
Yeah,
Get
you
it,
did.
Peggy. Get it, Peggy.
I audibly out loud cheered when you survived.
Oh
your
no,
round,
it wasn't.
Peggy.
It wasn't Harley. It was Kalinowski, which makes it even worse.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Who
Thank you
else?
guys. Thank you.
Doug Benson going out.
Yeah, but he's just there to have a good time. Let's be honest.
Marzonia, Video Drew.
I
Smack-
loved that Marzonia was there. I loved seeing Alex.
Yeah.
As
Smacks.
Vapion says, now I'm wondering who replaced Jill.
I mean,
Don't reveal secrets, Jill. Don't reveal
not revealing secrets. Don't reveal secrets. I know who did. Because they came up to me and apologized after the fact.
Real quick, Brian, I want to bring this up because these are people who didn't show up. I really wanted to see a wild berry in there.
At least one.
That was
Thank you, Travis.
I figured Makuga wouldn't. I was expecting Dewberry to just
Dewberry.
kind of like
Travis
saunter
said
in and just-
would have loved a Josh McCougar or Dewberry showing up. Yeah, I know that
Yeah.
Josh has been very busy with his new job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Daryl,
would've-
that's a very good point. I'm surprised
What?
my arch nemesis wasn't there.
Lomas, yeah. Because
Ooh.
Radis was there.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
I'm
not going to say his
surprised-
name, but yeah.
Part of me was kind of hoping that Ellis would pull a knapsack and
Me
just
too.
leave the announcer
too.
desk and just
Me
go like just do a couple questions.
Agreed.
I would have loved that.
Just to throw out the rest: Smets, Klee, Rager, Winston, and Chundra.
But Chandra's
The only-
also 40.
I'm surprised. I'm out of that. I'm
I'm
surprised
surprised.
Rager didn't last more.
That's yeah.
Rager was
and-
surprised.
And also Klee, because Klee's better than what her points totaled to,
Yeah,
or
she
was.
is.
then
Claudia
I was
wasn't
just-
there. Was Claudia
No,
there?
she was
No.
not.
Claudia
And I was
wasn't
just pulling for Smets. Smets would have been a lot of fun.
there. Smets is always a
Also, I saw it mentioned at some point in the chat, but Nussbaum, there you go. Zipper, no zipper.
no zipper.
Yeah. I was actually more surprised that Mr. Buzz wasn't there.
He was in
Brandon,
Europe.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was
Oh,
just on vacation.
that's
He
fair.
was in
yeah.
Europe. He
He
had
has
an
a giant.
excuse.
He has a giant excuse.
Had an
yeah.
excuse.
That's fair.
I loved one of my favorites that I was so happy was there was Stacy Howard.
And the guessing that woman does. Oh my
And the
gosh.
first question she gets right is when she pulls out of thin air like the queen does,
that no one else got.
that no one else got.
Just
Also,
her.
also, fun fact, that bottle of wine was definitely full at one point.
I believe it. She honestly, she might have been my most shocking to walk out.
She lasted
Like,
a
to
bit.
be
didn't she? Did
eliminated?
She last 2
No,
rounds?
to come
Oh,
out.
to come.
Oh, to see her.
Like I fully did not expect her to show up to this.
I
Like,
think she's the perfect example of what free for all can do.
Yeah.
I
Stacy
agree.
is so busy for like regular matches and stuff like that, but she can play once a year at something like free for all.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
And
She's
she
the
is
perfect
a treat.
example.
She's
Yeah,
a
she is.
treat.
She's so
Oh,
much
I believe
fun.
it.
She is so much fun.
I love
I believe
Stacy.
Yeah, she was one that if I had to pick one person, I think I would have been. I was most surprised that.
And
when I saw her.
Tim is right. She almost cleared an entire table.
She
Yep.
did. She did not do bad. She lasted 2 rounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun to see.
Any
Looking
other
at-
favorite moments or things that maybe we have not talked about? Chat, you can also kind of mention
Yeah,
if we've forgotten anything.
Bring it in.
I just as far as the event went, I know it started off a little bit of a bummer learning that someone had tested positive, but everything was brought back up and they figured it out with the mask and everything like that, just being on top of things.
I do want to say just a big shout out to everyone backstage during all of that, because there was obviously no one expected that to happen, so it was a little bit chaotic for a moment, but they worked their butts off to make sure that they were able to put this show on for the fans. So a big, huge freaking shout out to Skybound and everyone backstage who works all these big events, because it was a crazy day, but it was all worth it. So yeah, as Reese said, the crew put in work. So big, huge shout out. Everyone was safe. We all had a good time. So yeah, I just wanted to give credit where credit.
No, hey, it's that's why we're very lucky to have both you and Molly here as part of this crew, because you guys were able to give us those details like that, and really talk. Like, we can obviously say, like, Brian and I can just be like, like, we thank everyone for putting in the work, but you can legit say, like, they did their job to the maximum, and I thought the event, and I know that it's a pre-recording, so it's edited and stuff, but I thought the event went off flawlessly.
Me too.
It did not seem like as long as it felt.
I was just going to say, a lot of people kept
right?
saying, oh my God, 3.5 hours, but it really, once you're sitting down watching it, like, it just goes.
And that's how long free-for-alls always are. Free-for-alls are always long.
Yeah,
there's usually an intermission. There wasn't an intermission during this one. So
I know they've released them in 2 parts before, but like, that's what you should expect. There are 40 competitors, and one table could legitimately, if they all just went perfect, they could go forever.
Yeah.
Like, they could just go forever. So
yeah,
that's
you
just
didn't
how the
even
name
have
of the game
any.
is. Yeah, you didn't. There was no single. You're right, Brian. There was no overtimes in a table.
Nope.
Or like question off
until the very end.
Until the very end. Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was brilliant. We haven't had an in-person free-for-all since 2019. And I thought the studio worked perfectly, how they set up the tables with each other, Mark and Christian being there, doing the announcing, the way that the Ken with all the guest announcements and having everybody come in the way they did with the music and all that stuff, the mystery. Obviously, with some music, like Ben Bateman and Mike Kalinowski and stuff, we get that. But
there was so much that I even stopped for, like, remembering whose
whose. Yeah,
like, it got to the point where I was like, whose music? And then they walk out, and I'm like, oh, duh.
I really want, because I was kind of bummed because we were gone this weekend, so we couldn't, because the last 2 seasons, we all watched together, and like that's where the infamous Hilo dip situation happened. I think was a free for all event. But
Sean's fault.
It was Sean's fault. But there was a oh my God, what was I going to say? Now I'm. Oh no. Oh no!
Tailgaters.
I was talking about music entrances.
Oh, thank you. I was talking to Sean, and I said we need to make a drinking game out of the free for all, where someone needs to take a drink every time Mark or Christian says, "Oh, I know that music. Oh, I know
he
that
said
music."
They said it every single time.
Of course they know the music.
Take a shot.
Christian probably commissions the music for them. Like, of course.
Take a shot.
We love
that.
it.
Would be brutal.
Every time. There needs to be a free for all. Like, anyone from Skybound, if you're listening to me, next free for all, you should print out a bingo card.
Oh God.
Bingo card for anytime, like someone clears the board. Bingo, or like a bingo card or a drinking game. Take a drink every time. Finish your drink every time someone clears the board. Okay, take a drink every time.
Maybe. Thank God this is only once a year, everybody. Thank God this is only once a year.
It's pretty clever. So fun. It would work.
All right, a couple questions I want to get to before we wrap up and head out of here. Let's see. I just had it. Steven said, actually, this free-for-all felt shorter than others. There you go.
I want to say the last one was like 5 hours.
Maybe. Well, the last one was digital too. So digital, yeah. Silent Moose says, I know you can't talk about it, but I love the closing scene. Good to know. We're going to do it next week.
Next Sunday.
Do it next week. We have not watched it at all. Cena coming in. Can't wait to be there when they do it with a live audience again.
This would have been a fun one.
Agreed.
Maybe, because I know they said they're not going to be doing a lot of live audiences other than Spectacular, but I'm hoping once the world starts getting back to normal, whenever the heck that's going to be, that we get another. Because I know a lot of people are like, Spectacular is my favorite. My favorite event is Free For All.
Mine too.
Makes sense.
Mine is it's to me better than Collision, better than Spectacular.
It's fun because there are some people that like seriously want to win, but for the most part, everyone's just having fun.
Everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
One thing we haven't talked about, and I know this can be covered very quickly, but I also am obsessed with the addition of wild cards in the free for all.
The wild card free for
I
all.
love like the baseball's back category.
Baseball's
I
back,
texted PJ. I go, you just created my all-time favorite category.
Oh my god, Schmoedown competitors in movies.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So good. Like the Boston one.
Okay. There were some people.
Fourth movie and franchises. Like
the Rotten Tomatoes one. It either has 100% or a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
There were some people that cracked me up that when it was like, which movie trivia star? Like you saw a couple faces go, you got me kidding. Like I haven't seen this crap.
When they asked I know it wasn't in the category, but it was the Disney category where they talked about Newsies.
Yeah.
I was with Kevin at the time, and Kevin walked right up to the screen. He goes, "Let's see which one of these people aren't my friends. Let's see who gets this song." All of them got it correct. Oh, Peggy.
I'd probably say no just in case.
Oh my god.
I don't know if we want to do that publicly just in case. Like,
I won't do it publicly.
Yeah.
But there was my god.
She can tell us though, Peggy. She can tell us.
I'll tell them, but there was a category.
You'd be surprised at how shocking Jill does not tell us things.
Yeah, she keeps a lot of secrets to us.
I forgot about this one. Oh my god, Peggy, I was so mad when they made that.
A lot of people are definitely in on the Rotten Tomatoes one, the 0%, 100%, or I think it's called the All or Nothing. Is that what it was called?
Something like that, yeah. Either the 100% or the 0%.
I
want that to be an actual.
So do I. And you know what's funny? I do think that it probably is a wild card category. I think all of these are probably wild card categories.
Not even wild card. That one I want to be.
Do you think they'll keep them though, or do you think they're?
Well, yeah, but I'm sure they have a rotation of like 100 wild card categories. There's a chance we'll never even see it. You know,
I'm saying you're not going to see these ones again this year.
I want a raspberry slice.
That would be funny, Jill.
Brian, I think that they'll be on the wheel.
Peggy, stop it.
Now I have time playing in my head.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Peggy, I'll tell you guys when we're done.
I think some of the wild cards that we saw will be on the wheel, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll ever be touched. We can never see them, but they'll actually maybe be in a game. They'll just never be hit. But I thought the wild cards were fantastic. I thought they were great.
They're so good.
It just reaffirms to me that the wild card is the best addition.
You're out of time limit, sir.
She's crying. She's looking at bones right now. They're on top of the fridge, and she's just looking at them, wanting to chew them. All right, but I did have one more question I want to get to. I got to scroll back up a little bit because everyone kind of went.
Cena, exactly, Cena. Secrets don't keep friends, but they do allow me to keep my job. So is most secrets.
All right, so two final questions before we wrap up. Harrison said, "Who do you think was playing better at the time of their free for all win, Dan or Marisol?" I'm personally, I'm gonna say Dan personally.
I feel like saying Dan only because Marisol wasn't in it as long as Dan was.
That would be my only thing. It would depend. And I think Dan was in longer. So solely for that reason,
I would say Dan was there for...
Well, no. I think Harrison's talking about like overall, like in Schmoedown, period.
Well, like, that's what I know. Like who's playing at the better of their time, because Dan has won the free for all before.
Yes.
But did Dan last? Was Dan in it? What was Dan's number?
Dan started
35. No, I mean when Dan won.
Won. He was probably a little later.
Oh.
Yeah, he was probably a little later.
I mean, Dan started at 27 and went 9 rounds, winning 10 rounds if you count the one he went out.
I'm interested in where he started for that, but yeah, like for the
one that he actually won the free for all. What number did he come in? I know he was 27 this one because I said in the post it's my favorite number, so I'm gonna remember that. But
okay, so last
can I say one last thing?
Go ahead.
Before we go to it.
And I looked great in my post interview. Thank you. I appreciate it.
When we got to like 35, I'm sitting there going like, who could be left? Like this is, it seems like Paul's killing it right now. Like who could be left? And then when Marisol comes twirling out, I went, oh shit. This is done.
In perfect cosplay.
Yeah. She found that skirt just like at like a random like shop, like
Perfect
that, like
cosplay.
a convenience store
Yeah.
that had the skirt, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like that looks perfect." So
I
good.
literally
Cutest
was
thing.
like, all right, so like someone like not a name that you like immediately is gonna be like, oh, they're gonna win free for all. Is gonna win it this year. And then she comes twirling out of that freaking curtain, and I was like, oh
Yep.
man, this is done. She
I'm
pulled
glad you caught that from me, Mr. the King.
Yes.
To the family, Marisol.
I mean, if Marisol's pulling 38,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
so
that's not some good
Leo
luck.
tracked it down. Dan started at 31 in 20.
Okay, so he came in earlier than Marisol did.
Mm-hmm.
So solely for that, I would have to give it to Dan. But I would not be surprised if Marisol had entered 31 and she lasted the entire
Yeah,
time.
no, I 100% agree with that.
See,
100%.
that's one thing I would have loved to see. I'm so happy she won. Totally thrilled. I would love to see how long she could do it.
Last.
Like, say, like from 30. or
I
something, to
think
see if
she could.
can-
I think she could pull a bibs and
Yeah,
go.
Oh,
I
from
agree.
1 to 40.
I
agree.
absolutely agree. I'm just like, I'm super stoked she won. I would love to see her a little lower than
Me
38, just
too.
out of the pure like she's so good in her
To see
knowledge
how-
that I just want to see it.
And
Well,
she's
the
one
odds of her
most-
getting a high number the next year are
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
low. So
And she's one of the most well-rounded players. Like she knows her IG stuff. She knows not to like Thomas Harper status, but she knows Star Wars. So like she
Mhm,
is one of the more well-rounded players.
Every time I see her with a horror question, I'm like, she was with Adam on a
Yeah.
team. He's
got it.
Corruption and horror are like they probably
She knows
got
her
it down.
animation. She came out as freaking Maribel. Like she knows what
Yeah.
she's doing. Like
But I think she had a Lord of the Rings question or something. And I was like, yeah, she got
Yep.
that one.
Yep.
Something. So yeah.
all right, quickly. So we have one final question that'll be very quick. But Andy wanted to say Marisol was my pick during last week's episode, so I'm glad I finally got something right.
yay, Andy.
Oh, there you go.
Andy. Congratulations, bud.
It's
and
funny. I completely forgot her
Yeah.
until towards the end. Like I did not like when she came out. I was like, how did I forget she was a person in this? Like, and then I was like, done. 38,
Game over.
Marisol,
Everyone else can go home.
done.
Yeah. All right. Quick question here from Leo leading into this week's Schmoedown. He wants to know, how about Saul versus Amaru 2 this upcoming week?
Hype.
Got to pick everybody?
Rue.
Yeah, I'm going Rue too.
Um,
I love Saul and I think he's playing great, but I'm gonna go Rue.
this is a Saul
And he's gonna come
household.
after me too. So
This is a Saul household, and Saul has my phone number. And if I don't pick Saul, I'm gonna get a phone call in about 5 minutes. And I'm really tired, and I just don't want to deal with it. Hi, Rue. But I think it's gonna be I'm very interested to see, because while this is a Saul household, I think I am the one who came up with the term of Saul syndrome when it comes to live matches.
Leo just said he go 0-3 in front of a crowd if he loses.
So Saul has to the trivia gorilla.
No, it's the guerrilla, according
the
to Sean.
trivia gorilla is apparently what Saul is calling himself now. So Saul has to get over the Saul syndrome. So I might get a phone call, but until I'm proven wrong,
I hope this lights an absolute fire under his ass. I really do, because everyone in the chat right now is going with Rue.
Yeah, well, because unfortunately
Except
Saul hasn't shown again Saul syndrome. Like it's rough, but he has not had a good showing in a live performance. One of which was against Rue. So we'll see.
Yeah,
it'll be a fun one, that's for sure.
I feel that.
One last thing. God, I want to see Dan cash in on that IG.
I do too.
So bad.
I do too. So when he said it, I was like, oh, please.
I think we're gonna see him play an IG match this year.
At least one.
I think we'll see him play.
I almost wish, like, obviously we could never do this, so don't come for me. But I almost wish, like, if you win it, you have to use it on like another division, just because it's like it's so cool. Obviously, like, you're not going to see, other than people that think they can hang like Bateman, like them go after Star Wars or something. But like, I love the fact that Dan is maybe going for something that is not his division.
Why not? Like, when you're Dan and you're pretty much guaranteed to get a singular team's title shot at some point during the season, why not throw your hat in the ring and do a different division? You know, if you're as good as Dan is, I would be like, you know what?
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean,
I'm just going to have a good time.
Same with like Adam. If Adam would have won, I would love to see him go for something.
I think we're going to see Adam do something a lot different this year.
I don't know, but I'm very excited to see if it's a contender, right? It's not a.
He gets a number one contender.
Dan gets a guaranteed number one contender shot.
Perfect. Like I'm not like ready to see him come for Kalinowski right off the bat, but I'm love the idea of him going for number one contender.
Yeah.
It'd be fun, and I'm excited. I hope that happens.
All right, everybody. Well, there it is. Our full breakdown of everything that was this weekend in the Schmoedown. 2 title matches, the free-for-all 5, tons of storylines and stuff just happening within the what is the movie trivia Schmoedown. So if we forgot anything, I apologize. We try to cover as much as we possibly can.
It's been almost 2 hours, y'all.
We try to keep the show at a certain time. There's a lot to talk about tonight, but this will probably not be the last time we talk about it. We do have Saul Amaru next week.
And we want to hear Molly's thoughts.
I promise I'll show my behind-the-scenes videos once it's to the public, and I won't get called into the principal's office.
You guys got the best behind the scenes with Shannon's.
Yeah.
I was hysterically laughing.
So we'll definitely be talking about it again once Free For All is out there to the public. But thank you to everyone who's been watching this whole time. You guys are killing it. We love having this number here in the chat, talking it up. Everyone, there's so many people commenting and throwing their opinions out there, and we love having it. So thank you so much for joining us each and every week. And just seeing you guys is always fun for us. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming this week for our Patreon. We'll have our match reaction coming as well. Which one that is, you'll see. But before we head out, we'll do some quick plug. Jill, why don't you start us off? Where can everyone find you online?
Yeah. You can find me at Jilly Marie, 2 Y's, 2 E's on Twitter and Instagram. Celebration's coming up, so you'll see all of us together at some point, and Molly and I's Instagram stories will be itty bitty tiny dots.
Yeah,
so for sure to.
I'm not even gonna do it just because they're gonna be doing it so much.
Yeah, for sure. But that's like it's May. It's gonna be May. It's Star Wars month, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Also, you can, as you saw for the free for all, you can sometimes catch me doing your favorite post interviews for your favorite matches. So make sure to watch till the end because you might see my slightly sunburnt face. But
fair enough.
Cheers.
And Brian?
Be Valsino on Twitter and Instagram. And I had a brain fart right there. Apocalypse Movies on Tuesday. Do we know? Any idea?
We have a show.
Early.
There's
probably CinemaCon stuff, right?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a special announcement too. So I'd employ everybody to kind of check it out. Something kind of important. So check that out.
Check it out.
So yeah, I think that's everything.
Okay. At Qui-Gon Jake on Twitter, 2 N's. Someone else took it before. I did Apocalypse Movies each week with Brian. A certain point of view, of course. The Whiskey Jedi, which I do a little show there, talking Star Wars, talking whiskey. But yeah, again, to everyone watching, thank you guys. We really, really appreciate it. Vapion, I know I made a typo on the date, but you guys got the gist. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Thank you to all of our patrons. We love you guys. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Until we see you guys next time.
No, that was my idea.
I beat you.